This is KCCK's Culture Crawl, and I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Tammy Wright. Tammy is Executive Director of the Bur Oak Land Trust in Johnson County. First off, welcome, Tammy.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about the Land Trust. This is an organization that is dedicated to preserving land in its natural state.
That's correct, yes. We own 9 properties and hold 14 conservation easements in Johnson County right now, but our mission is to protect and conserve the natural areas of Johnson and surrounding counties for future generations.
And is this a relatively new way of taking care of land, or have these trusts been around for a while?
We were established in 1978 by a very small group of far-sighted citizens, and have been here ever since, getting ready for our 40-year anniversary. So I've been with them for 11 years, and we've just been growing ever since. And Land Trust's idea is not really popular or really common in the Midwest. We have 6 in Iowa, but when you get out west or out east, land trusts are very common.
Well, it's with the history of family farming in the Midwest, it is probably a lot more likely that landowners will be passing the land on to their children to continue to be farmed or developed or whatever. That's probably a little bit more common. But this is a case where someone says, I don't want my land to be developed, and I don't want it to ever be developed.
That's right. So we work a lot of times with landowners that have a huge passion for their land and preserving the natural characteristics of that land. So we have 9 properties that we own, 14 that we hold conservation easements on, and the conservation easement is it's a tool, a legal binding document that attaches to the deed that lasts forever. And it's a great way for people to still own the property, but yet protect their property from being turned into something they may not want to see there.
And tell me a little bit about the properties that you own.
So we have 9 properties. They're located, all of them right now, in Johnson County. They're anything from 1 acre of prairie to 107 acres of woodlands and prairie with a stream going through. We've got one that's located down by Hills. That's our Belgium Grove property. It's 40 acres. Has a pond for fishing, and all of our properties are open to the public. We have 3 located near Solon, and one down by, that's Hills, and then 3 by Solon, 2 in Iowa City, and 1 near West Branch.
What is the benefit, do you think, to someone who is just going out for a picnic, of going to a park versus going to, because you said everything's open to the public.
It is.
What is the advantage to going to one of the land trust properties?
Not a lot of people know who we are, which is why we appreciate the opportunity to be here today.
So quiet.
No, we want people to know who we are. And yeah, the benefit is definitely quiet. Not a lot of people out there. We do have a couple of the properties that are open to hunting with permission. And so you might run across, somebody out berry picking or mushroom hunting or hiking, picnicking. A couple of the properties have been discovered for walking dogs and that sort of thing, but they're really quiet, and we are one of the best kept secrets around.
So with the properties now, are most of them, have they almost always been prairie, or are some of them that maybe were farmland or something else, and now you've kind of let them revert to their natural state?
Good question. Yes, some are natural native prairie, which we don't have a lot of left in Iowa. We are the most disturbed state as far as turning our prairie into farmland in the whole United States. So there's not a lot of native prairie left for us to protect. Some of those areas, thankfully, have been protected, but we have acquired, as some people would call it, degraded farmland, and we've turned it into, reconstructed prairie and wetland and pond, and so yeah, we've tried to turn them back into their natural state.
What is entailed in trying to return a parcel of land back to natural prairie?
A lot of work and passion and love for the land, but so our Belgium Grove property, which is down by Hills, we had funding from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, from the Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship, probably other organizations too, DNR, that helped us financially take what was there and turn it into a 5-acre pond and a wetland, and it has Dirty Face Creek running through it, or Old Man's Creek running through. Is Dirty Face Creek. So we've got some really nice natural areas down there, and areas that we did a campaign a while back, and we called it Bringing Iowa Back to Belgium Grove. And so with a lot of dedicated, passionate folks, we were able to do a lot of great things on that property.
Talking with Tammy Wright from the Bur Oak Land Trust about the different trust areas, most notably in the Iowa City area. You own some, and as you said, you also have conservation easements on others. But as you said, the purpose of the land trust is not just to preserve the land, but also to get people out there. And you've got some events. Right,
we do. First and foremost, our Music on the Prairie event, which is happening July 9th. Our headlining act is Big Blue Sky. And before them, though, our opening act, we're excited to have Allison Oakenfelds. She is from Wellman and kind of part of a family musical group, but she's going to entertain us with her fiddle at starting, I believe, at 5 o'clock. But at 4 o'clock, we have hay rides hayrack rides that'll be offered, and kind of get a tour of the property. And we have very passionate volunteer property stewards that take care of that property out there. It's 40 acres, and it's just absolutely beautiful. We've planted milkweed plugs for the monarchs and pawpaw trees for the swallowtail butterflies, and it's just a really great property. And hopefully the weather will cooperate, and we'll have a great turnout. We've got bring a picnic, bring whatever you'd like to have for beverages. We will have Maggie's Pizza will bring their stoves out and make pizza for us, and those will be available for purchase. But it's a really great event. And then we're fortunate to be able to have some local restaurants do kind of a share the profit night with us. So we've got one of those coming up with Augusta in Iowa City from 5 to 9 on August 1st. And then we've got our Under a Cider Moon, a celebration of autumn. That's our live and silent auction event that happens in October. That's a very, very nice event at the Celebration Barn off of Sugar Bottom Road, Solon. And at our Belgium Grove property down by Hills, we have a family day. We do 2 of those a year, one in the spring at our Turkey Creek property out by Solon, and then in September at our Belgium Grove property. So we'll have more information about that. But those are great opportunities for children of all ages. We kind of target elementary students, but we've had babies out there, and we've had 90-year-old folks out there, trudging up the trails with their canes, and everybody has a great time. And
so, in particular, with families thinking about coming out for these events, but also coming out on their own, not to put too fine a point on it, but does degrading the land, does that include restrooms?
Oh, no, we have no restrooms. The only building that we have on any of our properties is our Belgium Grove property down by Hills. And that's the one that has the fishing pond. But if we don't know you're coming, the building will be locked. So there are no restrooms. Okay. When we have events, we have restrooms available. Okay. But otherwise, no, everything is...
it's natural.
Natural. Very natural.
Tammy Wright from the Bur Oak Land Trust. Again, the music event is the 9th of July.
That's correct.
And if people want more information about that event, or if they just want to find out a little more about the trust, what's your website?
Our website is www.buroaklandtrust.org. Our phone number is 319-338-7030. Email info@buroaklandtrust.org. And Bur Oak is with 1 R. Okay. Bur Oak Land Trust.
Well, good luck with the event on the 9th. We'll cross our fingers for good weather, yes, and come back at the end of the summer and tell us about what's going on in the fall.
I certainly will. Thanks for the opportunity.